The United States is increasingly resorting to assassination drones to carry out covert strikes in several countries in Asia and Africa. It's using the unmanned aerial vehicles to carry lethal attacks in Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, Somalia, and Yemen. Just last year, the American military carried out over 120 drone strikes on Pakistani tribal regions, killing some 1,200 Pakistanis. So far this year, 61 such strikes have been reported. According to Pakistani sources, U.S. strikes take some 50 civilian lives for every alleged militant. The strikes have increased dramatically under President Barack Obama. The Washington Post reported last month that the Obama administration is building a constellation of secret drone bases in the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa. The use of drones has been one of the most controversial aspects since Obama entered the White House. Although their legality remains shadowy, the Obama administration insists it reserves the right to use drones in the so-called war on terror. The UN has already condemned the U.S. drone strikes as a violation of international law.
In a situation in which there is no disclosure of who has been killed, for what reason, and whether innocent civilians have died, the legal principle of international accountability is, by definition, comprehensively violated.
But the U.S. violation of international law doesn't stop there. The country holds a record in direct and indirect involvement in torture and killings. There is plenty of evidence showing systematic torture at CIA-run prisons in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as in other secret locations. Human Rights Watch has recently asked the Obama administration to order a criminal investigation into detainee abuse when former President George W. Bush was in power. The Washington Post has also revealed that Washington knew about torture taking place in prisons in Afghanistan. The U.S. has also been active in aiding terror networks in several countries. America's help to terrorist outfits like the Pakistan-based Jundullah and the Iraq-based MKO and PJAK are now open secrets. Jundullah confessed to having contact with the U.S. government, and the MKO continued its anti-Iran activities under the shadow of the almost decade-long American military presence in Iraq. The unanswered question is, how can the U.S. safeguard human rights while its own rights record remains checkered? 1.5 million dead, over 4 million displaced, and thousands tortured, to name just a few, and yet there is no accountability. Thanks to the muted response from the international community, the U.S. continues to make a mockery of international law.